Waking up to 80 strangers holding a wedding on your private dock is surreal. When a woman with over-bleached hair and knockoff designer sunglasses orders you off your $580,000 property, it's infuriating. That's what I, Mark Ellison, faced one June Sunday at Lake Harmony Estates. It sparked a chain of events that made me the HOA's public enemy number one, but as a mechanical engineer with time and a loathing for power-hungry bullies, I turned my dock into the ultimate revenge tool, leaving the HOA queen sobbing in her $5,000 gown. After 15 years designing hydraulic systems for military aircraft and Navy docks, I took early retirement to start a medical device company and focus on my 16-year-old daughter, Emma, who was struggling after her mother's death 18 months prior. Lake Harmony, at the edge of my budget, drained my savings, but its top-tier school district and serene lakeside setting promised healing. Our modest home paled beside neighboring mansions, but its private dock built by a fisherman former owner stole my heart. Emma's rare smile, picturing sunset photos there, sealed the deal. The realtor mentioned an HOA, but I skimmed the details, distracted by Emma's joy and my startup. Mistake. On moving day, Elaine Carver, late 50s with impeccable blonde hair, thrust a 90-page HOA rulebook at me. No welcome, just a critique of our door's navy paint, original to the house. Elaine, HOA president and self-styled ruler of Lake Harmony, became our nemesis. Within a week, we got a $100 fine for a mailbox 1/4 inch too tall. It wasn't. More followed. Excessive lawn watering on permitted days, wildlife feeding, Emma's breadcrumbs for ducks. Fines range from $50 to $200. They're making this up, Emma fumed, waving a notice about our hidden trash cans, compliant with rules. I suspected she was right, but paid to keep peace for her. Sakesh just made friends at school. Weekends, I refurbished the dock, applying my marine hydraulics expertise. I installed a remote-controlled hydraulic system, a scaled-down version of my Navy designs, to keep it level with changing lake levels. It was therapeutic, and Emma helped, asking, "Could you make the dock move?" I laughed. Technically, yes. That casual chat proved prophetic. Only our neighbor, George Harper, a 72-year-old retired attorney, knew about the dock's features. He caught me testing it one evening, handing me a beer. Impressive. Might come in handy. George, tall with white hair and sharp eyes, became our ally, sharing Lake Harmony's history over barbecues. Elaine's turned this place into her kingdom, he said, explaining how she'd rigged a summer election to seize HOA control, raised fees, and funneled funds to her lakefront mansion. She's driven out families with targeted fines, he warned. She wanted your property, offered the prior owner a lowball through a shell company. When he sold to you, she was furious. 2 months in, preparing for a startup investor meeting, Emma burst in. "Dad, people are setting up a wedding on our dock." Outside, 20 people arranged chairs and flowers, directed by Elaine. I grabbed my deed confirming the dock was mine and confronted her. "This is private property. I didn't authorize this." Elaine sneered. "Lakefront structures are HOA property per bylaws. My daughter Lauren's wedding is here today. 300 guests arrive soon, so stay out of the way." "My deed says otherwise," I said. "Relocate your event." She snapped her fingers, summoning 2 security, goons hired bouncers, not professionals. "This wedding happens. Interfere, and I'll bankrupt you with daily fines." Lauren, the bride, approached, worried. "Mom, is there a problem?" Elaine brushed her off. "Just the new owner being difficult. He won't ruin your day." Fuming, I retreated. Emma, filming from the porch, caught Elaine boasting. "That engineer's clueless about HOA laws. I've done this before, nobody fights back. This dock's worth $200,000, but it's ours." Her words fueled my resolve. "Time to teach her about property rights," I told Emma, eyeing my dock's hydraulics. "No sinking," she urged, worried for innocence. "Nothing dangerous," I promised, but unforgettable. I verified the official HOA bylaws. Docks were private, not common areas, and learned Elaine had tried buying my house via a shell company. Emma spotted catering tables with HOA logos, suggesting Elaine misused funds. George arrived with financial records, joined by Clara Ruiz, the sidelined HOA manager, and his wife, Helen. "Elaine's been diverting funds for years," Clara said. showing landscaping and remodels billed as community expenses, including $45,000 for lakefront improvements tied to Lauren's wedding. George revealed Elaine's pattern, harassing owners with fines to force sales, aiming for a marina to boost her property's value. Fear stops people, Helen said. She's got local officials in her pocket. By afternoon, wedding guests arrived, treating my dock like public property. I waited until post-ceremony photos, when Elaine, Lauren, her groom, Ethan Cole, and family posed on the dock. In my workshop, I tweaked the hydraulics for controlled movement. Emma filmed. "This is brilliant or insane," she grinned. I activated the system. The dock drifted inches from shore, unnoticed at first. After 5 minutes, a guest cried, "Is it moving?" Elaine scoffed, "Just waves," but panic set in as the gap widened. Lauren shrieked, "Mom, do something." Elaine screamed into her phone for a fix. I triggered phase 2, releasing tether lines, letting the dock float 30 feet out stable, safe, within swimming distance. Ethan's mother, a former Olympic swimmer, dove in, followed by others, creating a parade of soaked guests. Elaine raged, "This is sabotage." Ethan, inspecting the dock, found my control box with a note. "Dear groom," pressed the red button to return. First, read the evidence. It detailed Elaine's fraud, harassment, and plan to oust me. On shore, I played innocent. "That's my private dock," I told a guest, Christine, Ethan's aunt, who thought it was an HOA venue. The wedding planner, frantic, admitted Elaine claimed permissions were secured. Police and Lake Patrol arrived. Officer Tom Bennett confirmed my property rights and, via megaphone, told Elaine she was trespassing. She screamed, "Arrest him," but I showed my deed and Emma's video. George handed over financial records, and neighbors, led by Helen, shared stories of Elaine's abuses. Ethan, reading my evidence, confronted Elaine. Lauren, confused, stood between them. I activated Operation Titanic, splitting the dock. The main section stayed stable, but the cake and gift table drifted, tilting as water seeped in. Lauren wailed, "My Vera Wong topper." Elaine lunged at Ethan, who held the control box. He pressed the return button, docking the main section. As Elaine stormed off, sinking in mud, Officer Bennett intervened, citing fraud and false reports. Clara produced official HOA records, debunking Elaine's claims. Lauren, in her muddy gown, turned on her mother. "You said it was approved." Elaine snapped, "Your father left us nothing. You wanted a lakefront wedding." Ethan, shocked, asked Lauren if she knew. She admitted partial knowledge, crumbling. He postponed the wedding, saying, "We need to resolve this." Emma played Elaine's recorded threats, silencing the crowd. Bennett took Elaine to the station. I apologized to guests, offering my law knot dock for their reception. Most left, whispering about the fiasco. Lauren, alone, looked broken. "I'm sorry," I said. "Your mother's choices hurt many." She nodded. I didn't know how far she'd go. Ethan apologized, unaware of the deception. I shook his hand, believing him. Over dinner at George's, he toasted, "You saved this community." The floating wedding went viral via Emma's video, sparking her YouTube channel, HOA Nightmares, with millions of views. Elaine was ousted, faced charges for siphoning $200,000 in HOA funds, and moved away after selling her mansion. Clara led a reformed HOA with transparent bylaws. Harassed former owners won settlements. Emma's channel inspired a documentary, HOA Tyranny, fueling reform talks nationwide. My startup thrived, boosted by the dock's fame. Lake Harmony became a true community, with inclusive events and open HOA meetings. Emma got into film school, her confidence restored. A year later, at a lake picnic, Clara teased, "The new neighbors think you're an HOA vigilante." I laughed, "Just a guy who likes clear boundaries." My dock, now a symbol of standing firm, gleamed under the sunset, proof that sometimes, to stop a bully, you let their plans float away.